protects.
We are pressed chest to spine along the ferrofence. The ramp a lit throat swallowing people by the dozen. Heat slips sideways off the pad and licks our faces. The boy's wrist sits in my fist like a live wire. The chit in my pocket keeps printing its edge into my thigh. Over the loudhailers, a voice breaks and reforms. Above us, the sky is a black rind tearing something behind it glows. After a long hour, maybe more, the noise smooths into one note. We shuffle 3 steps, hold, shuffle 2 more. The boy sleeps standing, hot-cheeked, breath sour with fear. I lean into the fence so he can lean into me, and my other hand keeps time on the boy's spine. The wire has a pattern of tiny teeth, and their bites press through his coat into my fingers. I say nothing about it. And the last time I tried to speak, a joke about how well be limber from all this half-walking. My voice came out like gravel being shaken in a bowl, and the woman behind me glared as if I had asked to cut in front. Ahead, under the floodlights, men with blank helmets take chits and press them to little boxes on straps. The boxes blink green and the men point at the ramp. When the light blinks red, hands descend the rejected fold up as if their knees have been hooked. I do not let myself think about the box. I know my chit is real. I know the payment for its authenticity cost 3 months of saved vitamins and a ring I wore on a string. I also know that the little box blinks according to rules I do not understand. Thinking about it divides me in 2, the half that can plan and the half that can only watch. I keep the planner half asleep. The boy wakes and asks to drink. The bottle slaps empty against my palm. A man with a sack of water pouches drifts down the line like a scavenger bird, his eyes drifting over shoulders counting children. I show him my 1 free coin and he shakes his head before he even looks, his lips making the old words, "Not worth, not worth." The boy's mouth shines and he swallows nothing. Then some kindness out of nowhere. The woman behind me howls at the water seller until he takes my coin with 3 of his own for a pouch that's already been pierced. Her hair smells of fryer smoke and her hands smell of the soap we haven't had in weeks. "Give him that," she says. "Don't let him drink fast. They'll sick it up." I thank her for minutes between sips. 3 men in quilted coats pass, elbows joined, eyes milky with sleeplessness. One mutters the prayer for road blessings, which I have not heard since my father took me by the hand to see the pilgrimage machines turn. He keeps glancing at the ramp as if it is a mouth that could bite. "No carts," a soldier barks, and they leave one behind full of clothes wrapped in oiled cloth. A girl tears a strip from the bundle and keeps it fisted. The soldier does not notice. The strip has tiny bells that do not ring. The air heaves and something like the world breathing out lifts my hair at the roots. Everyone looks up. The black rind of the sky peels, further streaks pass across it like veins seen from inside an eyelid. The boy presses his face to my coat and asks if we are going to our own house now. "Yes," I say, because I do not know how else to hold his mouth still. A drone whirs low enough to make teeth sing, and it spits paper strips that catch strange in the crosswinds and blow sideways to deck the crowd. The soldier nearest us grabs at one and squints as if reading burns his eyes. He folds it into his vest and looks away, bored or afraid. The line does not move for so long that my knees lock and my left foot begins to dream it is asleep. I stamp it awake and the woman behind me copies me, both of us trying to make it not a game for the boy. 2 men argue 6 places ahead. Their noise is soft, hard soft as they try to be heard without becoming targets. A servo skull buzzes over and hovers like a wasp until their mouths close. It hangs there a moment, remembering them, then drifts back toward the ship's lip. The pad smokes with old oil and perhaps roasted rubber. Every light has a halo. Every breath tastes of pennies. Somewhere far to our right is a series of cracks stitch the sky. the thread invisible. People flinch in unison, a ripple passing with nowhere to go. The only direction is forward. The only choice is to breathe or not. When the line moves again, it is like a cramp letting go. We stumble, advance, rest. The boy complains that his laces are snakes, they keep untying themselves. I make him stand with his foot on my thigh and tie them hard enough to leave grooves. A man near the wall watches and makes the same knot for his own daughter with thick fingers, copying me in reverse. We smile without meeting eyes. Under the heat, the boy's clothes darken where my hand holds him. It is as if I am leaking into him and he into me, our skins one wet seam. He twitches and murmurs a song he learned from the coil turners, the one with the woman whose hands can spin light. And he insists she will be on the ship. He insists she told him. I do not tell him that the woman at the coil had a cough and a hand that shook. We pass the end of the fence. Suddenly there is only a gap and we fill it and compact again. To our left, the field is fenced with heavy blocks like a child's toy house but made of steel. Inside them, the important-looking people go first, not even glancing at each other as they board. Their coats are odd, stiff where mine sags, clean where ours are brown with soot. They do not look like people who will know what to do with a ship's lavatory. I put my face down to the boys and say the one thing I always say: watch where you put your feet. Now the loudhailer says something new. It calls for boys and girls, ages specified by a range that includes the one I hold, and the crowd sings with whispers as people count on fingers and imagine birthdays. The loudhailer repeats and soldiers form a lane with their bodies. We are 3 bodies away. The woman with friar smoke hair shakes her head very fast. No, no, no. I can feel through the soles of my boots the humming of the ship's heart. We move. The 3 bodies in front of us bleed away into the lane for families. A soldier raises 2 fingers at me, 2 only, and I nod before I fully understand. He looks at the boy, then he looks at me. He points toward the lane, a box with a strap. Green for some, red for others. I bring out the chit. I hold it with the edge that has been printing into my thigh, hoping that the wear does not offend whatever counts within. The boy shifts from foot to foot, his eyes glassy. And the soldier's glove is more a machine than a glove. It takes the chit from me without using fingers. The box hums over it. Red, then green, then a little noise like a cough. The soldier stares at the screen for a length of a breath and returns the chit to me. Family 2, he says, voice shredded. I do not know whether that is a promotion or an insult. The lane opens and the woman behind me tries to follow us. A soldier puts a machine hand to her belly and she folds like a hook. The lane closes around us like walls being walked into place. I know not to look back. I look at the boy's neck where the hair is fine and damp. The numbers stamped there from the ink line we used hours before have sweated into a blur. I rub them with my thumb and wish I had not. We are very close. The ramp is stairs with belts run over them, clicking under boots like teeth. Servitors loll at the base, heads iron and mouths stitched with thin chain. They smell like old pennies and pickled meat. A woman in a yellow sash touches each child's head with a brush that leaves black marks on their foreheads. The marks are not pictures, they are not letters. I try not to see a shape in them. Then the pad hiccups, and the hiccup becomes a cough, and the cough becomes a shout from the ground. A transport 2 pads overlifts nose first too fast. Something gathers its light from somewhere behind the clouds and unthreads it downward into the transport side. The ship flinches, staggers, and sweeps its wing through its own line like a winnower. People become spilt grain. The wing bites the Pharaoh road and jumps in 2 pieces toward us. Light comes from everywhere, white and uncolored, and the air slaps us flat. I do not remember falling. I remember the boy's hand leaving mine at a speed that was faster than separation ought to be. Noise eats the rest. When the world reforms, it has changed its rules. Hot rain falls that is not water. A man near me is screaming, but his mouth is closed. The sound seeps through the seams of him. The yellow sash woman is down, her brush burnt to wire. Of the servitors, one still stands, clothes smoking, iron skull turned to watch a place where its body cannot go. The transport's wing lies nearly in the lane, ribbing glowing, paint fizzing off it in serpent curls. Up, I tell the boy, but I am telling the ground. My hands find him by knowing, not by seeing. He is smaller than before. He is alive. The sound he makes is the small dog sound that he used to make sleeping, only faster. I get us both behind the fallen section of barrier. My shoulder slams something too hard, and a white flash travels from there to my teeth and sits there humming. Across the pad, bodies are moving like fish do after the bucket spills. A sheen and a slow, thoughtless thrashing. Soldiers swarm, their shape sudden and insect noon fast. They pull people up and through holes where the barrier used to be. The lane dissolves. New lanes appear where there is room for them. A little girl, powder black, stands very straight with her hands clasped as if for chalking, and her face is clean where tears run. I look for Friar Smoke Woman and do not see her. We are shown, we are not asked, to stand. Children only, someone yells into my face. I cannot decide whose voice it is. There are so many voices I do not have enough head for them. On the loudhailer says the words again. Children only. Ages named. The boxes on straps blink without rhythm now, as if mocked by scent rather than numbers. A soldier takes my elbow gently and pries the boy from me as if removing stuck paper from glass. No, I say, and hear the yes inside the no as I say it. Because the ramp is closing, because lunatic chance has chosen its new rule, because the boy's hand is sliding dry from mine. No. We are family too, I say, showing the chit with my blood from the shoulder smeared across its edge. Children first, the soldier says. His lips move with the words as if they taste wrong. Children only. Sorry. Next run, adult. Behind this moment is another moment, nearer to the ground where my knees decide not to lock. I let them go soft so I am at the boy's height. I put his face between my hands the way my mother used to, hard enough to keep it from slipping out from under my palms. You will hold the rail on the ramp, I say. You will breathe through your mouth. When they tell you to sit, you will sit. If you feel sick, you look for a bucket, not the floor. You will. I will see you when they let you on, he says, his mouth going bold around the words. He thinks he can make them true if he can shape them. His shoelaces, traitors, have loosed themselves again, and one is blackened on the end from hot rain. One more knot, I say, and I make it with my shaking fingers. He does not kick. His ankle bones are bird-light, and the lace rasps where the blackened bit passes through. Watch your feet. Do you hear me? Yes. A clerk with a face like paper takes his wrist and writes numbers on the skin that already has numbers. The new ink is permanent. I can smell it's bitter. She does not look at me. She does not need to look. I am already noise. Another soldier, younger than me, touches the boy's shoulder just as the boy always wants to be touched. Between the shoulder blades, a push that says, "Go be brave." My throat tries to turn itself inside out. The boy sets his teeth. He goes. He climbs the ramp as if it were a ladder leaned against a tree. The men with strapped boxes check nothing, or if they check, they do not pause. The black marks on children's foreheads continue. Someone has found another brush. Faces bob. The boy looks back for one heartbeat and then looks only up because he always understands when to look up. He disappears into the orange light of the ship. I have been given an empty thing where the weight used to go. I turn because a hand turns me. The soldier who took him points me away. Back of this queue for adult next, he says, as if that is a direction like north. as if I cannot simply stand here and become a piece of furniture. Around us, the pad still hums with the transport's dying heat. A trolley of stretchers winds past, their wheels gummy with soot. On one, a woman sobs without sound, mouth open, no air. I obey the pointing. I am good at lines. We are all good at lines, or we are dead. The new cue forms like a symptom. People bring their grief in both hands and set it down behind their heels. A priest comes by, vest short of soot, and dabs ash in triangles under eyes. I do not lift my chin for it, and I taste the ash anyway. It is in the air. I wipe my mouth and my hand comes away with black streaks, and the line of smear across my palm prints onto the chit. It dries there, making the numbers dull. The ramp seals. The ship becomes a sound, not a shape. The floor jumps and rocks. Hot wind unravels from the exhaust into the bodies of the crowd. Everyone squats in their knees to keep from going backward. I fold myself around the space where the boy was. A woman next to me, one earring, one missing, puts her hand on my shoulder the way someone steadies a jar on a shelf. We crouch like that until the worst of the wash passes. A new wind comes, cold from nowhere I can see, and it beads my face. The ship lifts. We see it not with eyes, but with the shadows it removes from us. Some of us look up. I do not. And I look at the place on the ground where he last put his heel. There is a scuff in the soot shaped like a half moon, and the heel print makes a crescent inside the larger curve. I lay my hand over it because it seems like something to do with a hand. The stone has a bake to it that will live in the meat of my palm all day. We wait. No one speaks for a long time. When the loudhailer does wake again, it is the same ritual, re-uttered, as if the last one did not bite us. Children, ages, families, two together, families one, numbers I know but will not keep. I rock on my heels and tell my body to be light. If I am light enough, I will not cast a shadow, and perhaps the next wash will not taste me. New rumors slide down the queue like snakes so close to the ground you only see their wake. Someone says more ships have come, silent as teeth, and someone says there is only this one left, the one with the leaking seam along its belly. A man ahead takes his cap off and smooths it, then puts it back on again, then takes it off again. The cap is not even a good cap. It has a burn hole in the crown and a tack in the side. He looks at the tack as if it is the only thing he owns that makes sense. Night sits down early. The floodlights harden. Beyond their ring, the world simply ceases. It is like boarding from the lip of a bowl into a mouth and pretending there is a table under it. In the dark, hands brush hands and do not know which ones to apologize to. I feel the boy's absence searching for mine like a polite guest who has lost his host. I put my hand in my pocket and find the bead that used to be on his hood string. He chewed it off in the springtime and left tooth marks in the wood, and I rub it like a seed. Fireflies of tracer drift in lazy arcs beyond the wall, far enough to be beautiful. The wall answers in square slabs of orange. The sound goes through the stone into our feet. I feel it in my toes, and then in my molars, and then in the place where my neck meets my back. My shoulder has found a rhythm of pain now and keeps it as a beat for my breath. I close my eyes and count out hollow prayers on the bead. I do not say the words. My mouth is for breathing and tasting metal. The bead is warm, then cool, then wet, because at some point I put it between my teeth and hold it there until the taste of old wood knocks something steady back into me. We begin to move again. The boxes on straps come closer, their lights shine on faces and find seams in cheeks where dirt has refused to leave. And the man with the bad cap loses it in the surge, sees it under a boot and decides to let it die. He straightens his naked head and his scalp gleams through a film of black. The priest comes by again without service, just touching shoulders, just reminding us there are points of contact more than one way. We are at the tape line where we were when the wing came. The tape curls up in places like grass that has lost interest in the ground. I fold my shoulders small to slip past a man with a splinted arm. He nods and hides the splint under his coat. The reward for not showing brokenness is simply not being seen. We understand this rule. We make ourselves symmetrical. Closer now, the ramp seems smaller, like the boards of a well when you are already inside them. The servitors have been replaced by newer ones, their skins less bubbled, and their iron heads more severe. The yellow sash woman is not in sight. The brush has again enough bristles to give the marks their solidity. A soldier with a face too calm speaks to us as if to children who have mistaken a parade for a roadblock. No pushing, no bags above the waist, chits and teeth if hands occupied, eyes to the steps, next. There is a banging thunder far and near, two weathers argued with each other and neither willing to stop. It could be the city, it could be the sky. We do not discuss it, our mouths are already full. The men with the boxes reach for me. I present the chit. The soldier holds it to the box mouth. Green. Green again. A long pause, then green. He looks relieved, as if at a personal victory. Next, he says, and his hand comes out to guide me. I step where he points. Behind him, a woman cries out a word that is not a word. She has found a footprint in soot shaped like a child's heel and put her hand over it, palm printed black. Her mouth makes a pocket of air around grief and keeps it safe while it burns. I take the first step onto the ramp, the boards thrumming under my soles like old chords. My shoulder twinges. I lift my hand and there on my palm, in the island shape of the boy's last step, the soot has adhered, glossy, complete. I close my fingers over it and keep climbing. The belt clicks its teeth. The light from the ship fills the breath between my lips with warmth that tastes of iron and dust.